Hi, I'm Mauricio Schiller and you're listening to the Schulering Hub, a podcast gathering hospitality professionals from around the world to talk about what hospitality is and what it isn't, and their lives, the innovations, and the ideas that set some businesses apart and others not. We also talk about the future, the trends, and recently we embarked on a journey to search for happiness in hospitality. What makes hospitality a happy place? What are the hurdles that block happiness from happening? And what can we do to overcome them? I invite you to be part of this journey. We make this for you, so I hope you enjoy it. Hello, hospitality, and welcome to another episode of the Schulering Hub podcast, where we talk hospitality and we learn something new. Today, very serious subject. We are discussing mental health awareness in hospitality. Something that it's real and it's an issue that needs to be addressed in our industry. It's one of the reasons why there are so many drops out. So I invited Nah-Dja Tien, who has lived through a burnout himself, to share why he thinks that there's such a big stigma on opening up about our mental health awareness, our mental health status in hospitality, and the little things he did when he was the general manager of so many properties that ranked number one on TripAdvisor to create that environment, the safe environment where people can open up and find help when it's needed. I hope you enjoyed the show. And please consider sharing with others and rate us on your favorite media. We make this for you, so I hope you enjoy it. So now relax and learn something new with Schulering today. Hello everyone, Mauricio Schiller here, your host. You're listening to the Schulering Hub podcast, and we are searching for happiness in hospitality. So if you have an idea what the happiness in hospitality is, please send us a message, share with us. We would like to include you in the conversation as well. Today I have once again to talk to us Nah-Dja Tien from Mian Hospitality, and a mentor that has been sharing a lot with us lately. Nah-Dja, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
If you don't know Nah-Dja, please go back to our episode list. Last year we recorded a beautiful episode about Nah-Dja's life in hospitality. He's a great career, it was awesome, and he participated with our learning webinar as well as a guest speaker, and we've been discussing what happiness in hospitality is in little short bits, but we also have a great episode about emotional intelligence with Nah-Dja and Vladika. But Nah-Dja, today we're gonna speak about a quite delicate subject because there is so many stigmas, so many things that people don't want to talk about. That is mental health awareness. What's your take in mental health awareness and how hospitality and mental health cross?
I grew up, I think, in a environment where mental health was not discussable. Or it was not discussed, not at home, but also not in my work environment. In 90% of the hotels that I used to work in, mental health was never on the radar. I think it's very important that we talk about it. We discussed very briefly in a previous episode, Mauricio, that if you give people the possibility to feel safe in the environment that they work in, and you are able to be open to any discussion related to mental health, I think you're actually a very big step in the right direction. I think that COVID actually opened up a lot of minds in the industry and also in the younger generation that it should be, discussable. And unfortunately, I had to have an example. Somebody had to point out to me that when you break your arm, you go to a doctor and you fix it. But when you have mental health problems, and it could be because one of your loved ones passed away, sickness, there's many reasons. You also need to fix it. And if you're not able to open and not to be able to be honest about it, it becomes just a trauma that is just stuck, and then eventually it will explode.
Why do you think that there is such a big stigma when we talk about mental health?
Because I think a lot of people think when you talk about mental health, you don't think about that you're crazy. It's very bluntly said, and it's just my opinion. But, not a lot of people are willing to say, hey, I have a mental problem, because it is somehow associated with very negative things. But I think it is changing, Mauricio. And I'm so happy that it is changing, that topics become discussable. HR big companies, they are definitely open for it. I had the privilege to work for a company in my previous job where even the topic of turning 50 is discussable, with the professional person, because not everybody is ready to turn 50, to be really honest. So that was a very, very good, organized company, and the employee assistance program there was very advanced. But hotels, maybe the huge chains, that is something, but all the thousands and hundreds of thousands of smaller hotels, I think that the managers need to start to understand that mental health is a topic and it needs to be addressed, which also means that you need to know something about it as a manager.
That's a good point, right? That's a good point, because my experience in the kitchen, at least, is any type of mental health was a weakness, right? Like you having a bad day or a mental or any type of being sad or anything like this was just pointed and laughed at as a weakness. Yeah, like you're bullied on it, and that's why it really shut so much that door. Like you don't want to expose and be laughed at because you are not feeling well. And I know that you supported a lot of people with your practices when you were a manager. So if we could get practical, like what type of supportive practices you think that you managers can give to teams that are or team members suffering from mental health?
First of all, you need to want to. You need to learn how to listen. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I am somebody that loves people in general. I think that when I see somebody, that I understand what this person is going through, positive or negative. And as a manager, I think you should really open yourselves up to the fact that people cannot smile 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a whole year. Yeah, we're in the hospitality industry, and one of the things, smile. As a manager, you need to give something to smile about. And this goes very far. This goes into the trust, this goes into the respect, it goes into the salary that you pay your team members, it goes into many things. And I think that the mindset shifts, when COVID came, what happened? Hotels, everything had to be closed down. Hotels were not able to pay the bills, and some of them closed down, some of them had to let staff go. And those people that left did not return back into the industry. And now there is a lack of people. We are not able to get the amounts of people or the quality of the people that are needed into the industry. And if you take somebody that is not hospitality crazy, if you have, people that have challenges in their lives, you need nowadays as a manager, I think, to be able to really talk about it and open yourself up to solve the problems together.
That's true. And I remember our conversation with Lat.Dja, that she pointed that emotional intelligence should be a part of the manager's development as well. And I believe that could help, right?
Absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to Lat.Dja and to learn from her. I never had those educational, seminars or lessons or anything else. I have it probably part of me, because emotional intelligence is something that I think is very important. And I if there is courses like Lat.Dja is giving, I think that every manager should at least, have the understanding that this exists and that this is part of making a happy workplace. So yes.
So in our search for happiness in hospitality, when it comes to mental health awareness, we could probably say that managers should get educated about how to understand what mental health is in general, open a dialogue, be open to receive, open to talk, and be supportive in how people are feeling. What would you add to it?
I said it a few times. Once you start to create all the points that you just mentioned, what do? You create a safer environment for people to work in. And I don't think that this is necessarily related only to hospitality. This is universal to any business. And I have a few organizations that I can just think of now that are very hard and very openly working on making a very inclusive environment that everybody needs to feel safe, no matter who you are, no matter what you believe in, no matter what your orientation is. You need to feel safe. And if you're able to express that, hey, I don't feel well, it should be absolutely okay. And I think that it's super important. As I said before, Mauricio, I never went through this kind of schooling. It was never part of my education or hotel mind. And it hit me as well. I am one of the people that needed help at a certain moment in my life. And if I would not be able to reach out to my safety net around me or to people that I can open up to, and then suddenly you keep it inside you, and then it could turn out really, really bad.
Indeed. Yeah. So thank you, Nah-Dja. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for opening your heart as well, because I know that it's a subject that touches you personally. So I know that there's so many people there out there that probably need help, need to be aware, and need to feel okay that it's okay not to be okay. That was this campaign in Australia that we always have. It's okay not to be okay. And I hope that we can help our industry a little bit to understand this and get better, get to do what we love, and serve people the best way we can.
Yes, that is, those goosebump moments. I think everybody should go through them. It's just amazing.
Nah-Dja, thank you very much. I can't wait to be searching happiness in hospitality with you again. It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure to be with you, Mauricio. Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon. Bye.